Hello. I hope y'all can hear me. How's everybody doing tonight? If you can hear me and see me okay, let me know. I was having a little bit of issues earlier, so let me know if you can hear me good. Hey, Rollo. Loud and clear. Good. Awesome. How you doing, buddy? PA Trapping, what's going on? How you doing? Hold on one second. What? Huh? What? How's everybody tonight? We doing okay, man. I know that I've been out, haven't done a live stream in a couple weeks. I would love to sit here and say a lot going on, but the fact of the matter is, I've been um, down and out, headache, and just not feeling well. So that's just the reason why I haven't done any live streams here lately. Pheasant season starts October 21st. I am ready to start killing ducks. We'll get into that a little bit later once we get some more people in here. But I'm not saying it's been a bad year. I have seen a lot of teal this year. The only problem is they are not flying. um, they're hitting the impounds and going into the impounds and staying because nobody's shooting them. And I don't blame them. Woo. Got you. Just let me know, buddy. Yeah, tonight we're going to have Jonathan back with Rewind Waterfowl. It's going to be coming up. We're going to be talking about duck season, duck hunting. Hey, Ron. Appreciate you coming in. We're talking about duck hunting, duck season. Being he's from South Carolina, we're going to talk about South Carolina. We're going to talk about Atlantic Flyaway. We're going to get into it tonight. And I hope it's going to be kind of interesting. Like to know what everybody else is doing as far as their early teal season, how they've been. Is it still going on? Has it started yet? Have y'all seen any birds? Y'all killing anything? Say, Charles. Charles, you do anything with the teal this year? Rollo, have you been yet? Or are you just still building calls? Hey, Amanda. You're probably building calls right now, so you probably can't type. You have to stop what you're doing to type. You got your earbuds in. Quail is in here. Don't know about teal. Awesome. Say, Craig. Seems winter a hole and checking out the millet. Got you, Ron. No, you did not spell quail right, but that's okay. I understood what you're saying. You were going to sit out the season however there's a duck stamp in your pocket. I was going to sit out the teal season in South Carolina as well, until I got a phone call and the boy said, we got 2,000 teal hitting this hole. And I went and with him, and I saw 2,000 teal. There's no getting around that. But we couldn't shoot them at the time. And by the time shooting hour came, they were gone. And like I said, we're going to get into that here in a little bit. So what's everybody? I'll tell you what. I know that Jonathan's out he's finishing up dinner. So have y'all had supper yet? Remember what you had for supper? All right. I'll take my nephew during big duck season. He's had a rough year. He needs a bad addiction like waterfowl. I got you. Hang tight. Oh man, my computer's messing up. Hang on a minute. My computer's acting stupid. We'll try it again. There you go, Jonathan's in the chat. Just grab it. Oh, waiting on Jonathan to get in here. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. You're there.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me okay? Okay.
Where can you hear me?
All right. So a little housekeeping real quick before we start. Guys, if you do not have Rewind Waterfowl podcast, do me a favor and get him. You can find him on anywhere you find your podcast. Go find Rewind Waterfowl. He's got some great stuff on there. He's got to have some great stuff because he's got me on there. So come on, go ahead, head over there, and if you don't have him, pick him up. Listen to some of his podcasts. Also, huge shout out to Rilo's Game Quack Chat or Rilo's Game Calls. Riley makes a great duck call. I'm hoping to get one here soon. I'm waiting on it, and when I do, I'll show everybody about that. So go over there, check out his calls. If you're looking for a new duck call, go over there and take a look at them. Let's see here. Also, Salt Creek Ammunition. And by the way, guys, I'm not partnered with anybody yet. These are just guys that I like and I'm hanging out with. But go over to Salt Creek Custom Ammo and check out their line of bismuth and TSS shot. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. It is a quality shell. I have yet to find one that doesn't pattern well, and I've used a lot of chokes on these. So go over there, take a look at them, and grab you up some shells. Season's almost upon us. If you can't listen, I'm on TikTok now, so if you want to go over to TikTok, if you like TikTok, I don't know, some people do, some people don't. I'm on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. Trying to build a huge social community right now. So come on over and join me on all these platforms. Anyway, tonight, Jonathan, thanks for coming up. I know this was last minute kind of deal. And I know you were doing a podcast earlier today. Has that come out yet, or is it still in the works?
Oh, so I got one that I did last night. I recorded with TJ Fleetwood. He's a 2-time Oklahoma State duck call champion. Really sharp guy, really good podcast. Really good podcast. That came out today, but I actually just got done recording one with Billy with SoFlo, talking about Florida.
Okay.
So yeah, that one it'll be out tomorrow. And then tomorrow morning, I record the big one with Dr. Duck and team with Billy and Dennis. So excited for that.
You're gonna have Dennis as well?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that ought to be awesome, dude.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, those guys are. Again, I like Dr. Duck, but Billy to me is the one who makes that show. He's got that comedy in him, and I don't know if he knows it. You know, I don't know if he's that way. I don't know, because I'd love to meet. I've never met him, but I got a feeling he would be a hoot to hang out with. I mean, absolute. I don't think you can shoot ducks around the guy because you'd be laughing so hard. You know, I just think he's a hoot.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to so far is they keep talking about how Billy is so funny and how they're excited to have him on. So I'm ready to get the episode going. He's got some important stuff to talk about too, though. So hopefully we get a good mix of laughs and a good mix of information, and we can put it out to the world.
Yeah. Well, have you teal hunted yet in South Carolina yet this year?
Not in South Carolina. No, not in South Carolina. I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't seen a good concentration of birds, honestly. I've seen a little bit bouncing around the river and the rice fields the couple times we took the boat out, but I haven't seen anything, worth setting up on, if I'm being honest.
Right. Well, opening weekend, I get a phone call Friday afternoon, and the boys told me, he said, we got 2,000 ducks. We got 2,000 teal. And they're bouncing back and forth between rice plantations. We can set up in that will be right, that will be right in between them. We should, we should have a good. All right, guys, if y'all can hear me, am I doing okay? Because I seem to be buffering.
Yeah, it's lagging a good bit on my end, Matt.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's the video's lagging and breaking up pretty bad.
Yeah, my video's doing the same thing. I think I got bad internet tonight for whatever reason. But like I was saying, we went out there Saturday of opening weekend. I saw birds, dude. I saw close to 2,000 birds easy, and just teal. I'm not counting the other ducks. The model ducks that I saw, the whistlers that I saw, the summer ducks that I saw. I'm just talking about teal, period. And shooting time was 7:04. For those who don't know, South Carolina has a rule that you cannot shoot early season teal until legal sunrise. The rest of the year, you can shoot 30 minutes before when it's the season's in, but it's just the early teal. And they had quit. I mean, literally at 7:04, they quit flying. We didn't see another bird. They had all quit. We had ducks in the decoys. I had them decoying in before shooting time. And right at shooting time, gone. Didn't see another one. I talked to 5 groups of hunters at the boat ramp, and they all said the same thing. So I don't know if you saw my post that I put out earlier on TikTok this evening, but there's a lot of truth to that. It's just a lot of truth to it. So I thought we'd sit here and talk about the early teal season, and what are your thoughts on the 7 o'clock or the legal sunrise, I should say, time frame?
Yeah, I just again, I don't understand it. I think we talked about it a few weeks back. From a beginner standpoint, if you got your guy in the blind for the first time, I can kind of understand that, because that duck ID, maybe you got to wait till daylight before you can actually identify what you're trying to shoot at, and ultimately what that species of duck is. But I think we talked about it before, and how we're able to differentiate. For the experienced hunter, you can tell.
Oh yeah,
you could tell, and it should be the same. It should be the same legal shooting light all duck season. That counts for early teal and big duck. And I get it. They say, at least from what I've seen, South Carolina DNR likes to play up with the wood duck that you can't differentiate, and they fly with the teal. It's a wood duck before it's 100 yards away from you. You're going to hear them screaming. You're going to hear them whistling, and they're always going to make noise before they get down in your decoys and you have a shot at them. It's next to impossible not to tell the difference between a wood duck and a blue-winged teal.
Especially if they turn sideways.
Yep.
If they turn, and they will, and I mean, they're going to do it because they're going to buzz your decoys. They're going to buzz around. They are going to make that turn. And if you can't see that pale blue patch the hens and the drakes have them. So it's not, that's your identifier right there. And you're right. A wood duck or summer duck, whatever you want to call him, he's going to be squealing. He's going to give that flying call sound. And guys, although I know a lot of us have seen single teal before, generally speaking, they're in a good sized flock. They're flying. They're generally are not flying by themselves, whereas a wood duck is, for the most part, they'll fly by themselves. But teal, generally speaking, 99.9% of the time are going to be flying in a flock, and you should be able to pick out the birds, especially in a flock. And if you're not sure, hey, don't pull the trigger. Just don't pull the trigger. If you're not 100% sure, I've been that way. I wasn't 100% sure. Let the duck hit the water, and actually put a pair of binoculars on it. Go, man, I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger. That's an immature wood duck.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts anyway.
No, I'm with you. And it just goes down to, if you're worried about the new guy or the inexperienced hunter not being able to identify it, it speaks that much more into how you need somebody experienced in the blind with you, and how us as experienced hunters, we can start taking these guys out and teaching them, early teal season, which, like I said, for me personally, at least locally, I didn't find anything worth setting up on. I don't know exactly where you were at, but the area that I would be fancy to hunt early teal season, I didn't find many birds worth setting up on. So I haven't worried about it. I spent most of my time in the dove field so far this year.
Right. Well, I was I didn't even buy a license until that Friday. I mean, I wasn't even going to buy a hunting license for here because the duck situation is just that bad. But I got invited, and the boy told me, he said, "Hey, and I mean, he wasn't wrong. There was a lot of birds flying, and this past weekend, the same thing. I talked to several people on the phone, and they said, "Man, the birds are here. I mean, the teal are here. There's no getting around it. They are here." And the problem is they're bouncing back and forth between impounds. And most of your impounds don't shoot early season teal.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bouncing back and forth between these two. And at shooting time, those ducks shut down. They're where they want to be, and there's nothing bumping them up. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's always been my biggest heartache with hunting public land in South Carolina, especially around, the private impoundments, but also right outside our Cat 1 WMAs when you don't get a draw and you're still setting up on the saltwater, hopeful to get a decent harvest, but just watching birds bouncing back and forth on, this managed land, and you don't have a chance to even get a passing shot at them. And that's always been the most upsetting point about, waterfowling here in South Carolina for me.
Hang on one second. You may have been the one that told me about this. I'm not sure. And I can't. Let me see if I can find it here. There's a guy, and I can't remember his name, and I really don't want to say too much about him. You may know who he is once I start talking, but he is a manager. He's a waterfowl manager. He has either a TikTok or Instagram. I'm trying to find it now. On the coast. And this guy he is extremely, extremely knowledgeable. But what his site, or like I said, I don't know if it's TikTok or Instagram where I saw it or whoever told me about it. But, he pretty much says, "Hey, this is my personal account. I'm not affiliated with such and such." And I just don't want to go into who such and such is right now because I don't want anybody, having a conniption fit. But this guy's, he's one of the better managers that I've seen out there. And I know there's quite a few good and great managers here in South Carolina, but this guy is, he's got it going on. I just think our state needs to take a lesson from him. Seriously, and get guys with like-mindeds, on what this guy does, because they got the birds. They got it. They're loaded up right now. I'm trying to get a hold of him. I have been. I sent him a message. I want to go down there and kind of get his views on things, without too much, but we just need better managers, and we need more managers and better than what we've got, especially on the public lands. It's just crazy how these guys are just lackadaisical about it, and they're wasting our money, dude. We pay $15.50 for a duck stamp. We buy all these licenses. We spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars every year on equipment and gas and food and what have you. it's just nuts what they're doing.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to get better managers in place, honestly, because of what DNR's, willing to pay these guys, and even if they're willing to hire anybody at all, because there's such a prejudice, especially in South Carolina DNR, with where these guys went to school and where they're born and raised from. We could have great managers coming from Ole Miss, University of Mississippi. Those guys have a great waterfowl biology program, and
Right.
we could be importing some of those guys from here, but they're not interested in it. And again, it's the perspective and it's that lens that our DNR is looking through, right? The money's just not there, and making waterfowl better or bringing back waterfowl to the way it used to be. It's those guys don't have any interest in that. They'd rather write you a ticket for, a life jacket without a tag on it, or some kid that's out there for the first time not signing the back of his federal stamp. They'd rather write tickets for that than actually spend money where it should be. It's a double-edged sword there, and like you said, we're paying a lot of money to get not a lot of action out of it. We're paying extra in duck stamps, and only to have our kind of waterfowl land and the public lands we do have and those opportunities be degraded or taken away from us, period.
Yeah, and I had someone today, not today, the other day, sent me a private message. Let's see if I can pull it up and where it went. Let's see if I can find it here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not really prepared tonight. There it went. Man, I must be having some serious internet problems. I can't get anything to work. I can't get anything to work. Anyway, I mean, he was talking about are you familiar with Jack's Creek Landing?
Yep.
Are you familiar with that? Okay.
Yes.
So Jack's Creek Landing went out of business a while back. And he sent me a message, hey, who do we need to call to get Jack's Creek reopened? And can we turn it into a public boat ramp? Can the state buy it? Now, first of all, the state's not going to buy anything. And second of all, somebody else has bought it. And, what I understand, they're supposed to reopen Jack's Creek in the future, but right now it's not. And you got to go across the water to the old Billups boat ramp. I will not mention that guy's name on any of my stuff, but he's a butt. And, and he doesn't like duck hunters. There's only one public boat ramp on that upper end of Santee, and that's Pax Landing. That's it. Well, there's Sparkleberry if you go in the swamp. But so we've got two public ramps. That's it on that lake. Everything else is private boat ramps. Say, RD, how's it going, man?
That's a lot of lake to try and get across.
I don't get why the state doesn't want to. Right. What's that, Squirrel? It's just, I don't get it, man. We're spending all this money on the state and I'm not seeing a return. I mean, dove numbers have gone down this year. The public dove fields, from what everybody has told me, they've been lacking this year. they they were lacking last year. They're lacking this year. They've even closed some of those public fields down. There was one that was closed last year, and they're not going to reopen. And that's 10 minutes from my house. It wasn't a big field, but it was something. They've shut that down. They're shutting other public fields down. Where's our money going to, bro? I mean, I'm a little upset. You can't already tell.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to see. Once that money goes into some government pocket, there's no telling where it actually ends up, right? You can have South Carolina DNR dollars be going to funneling and doing some of this rezoning of the Francis Marion they got so they can put up heavy industrial out near Hugie. There's no telling where this money's actually ending up, and that's the bad thing about it.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah, I've just lost all my chats on my Facebook stuff. I guess Facebook shut me down.
Is it Facebook or is it your internet?
No, it's just Facebook.
Oh, goodness.
I guess they got mad at me. I was looking for my chats, my they're gone. I mean, they are gone. I don't know where they went.
Jan said blame it on the Chinese or the Russians, right?
Yeah, really. But I wanted to read that chat, that I had with this guy. I mean, these are pretty. I mean, these are good questions. Why? What's going on, man? Just, I would rather have somebody stand up and say, you know what, I just don't like duck hunters anymore, and we're not going to help you. I'd rather that be said. Just tell me that straight up, so we understand, and start trying to go behind my back. Because I'm talking. I mean, like you haven't teal hunted in South Carolina. You haven't seen the number of the birds. You've gone somewhere else. Other people are leaving. They're going other places. They're spending money in other states. I mean, don't they get it? They can keep this revenue. It's just nuts.
Yeah, I don't understand. But again, we're I think I've told you before, we're in the process of heading out west right now. We're not going to be in South Carolina much longer. So, which hurts to say, home is supposed to be home, but yeah, I think it's like somehow that kind of mindset has changed. It's like the good old Southern lifestyle, grilling what you or cooking what you kill, and going out there and actually harvesting and spending time in the outdoors. It's not the way of life around here anymore. It's just been too focused on commercialization, industrialization, and the continued any kind of infrastructure progress. And I just don't think it's I don't know that I've come to realize that I kind of look at a lot of things in life with a gloomy lens, but I just don't know that even duck hunting will be around in South Carolina in 10 years. I don't know that public duck hunting will be a thing.
Oh, I hate to say it, but I mean, I did a video, and I've done a live stream on this a long time ago, and maybe I need to rebrand it and bring it back. But number one, is one of the richest hunting histories, has the richest hunting history in the United States. I mean, from day one, people were duck hunting. I mean, and then you got calls and decoys. All of that originated here in the United States. It didn't originate overseas. I'm quite sure they shot ducks over there, but the actual art of duck hunting, calls, dogs, decoys, everything, boats, specific guns were made just for waterfowlers. I'll say, Billy. So all that history, and it is the only hunting sport, well, not just waterfowl, but all migratory game birds that is regulated by the federal government. And the federal government can shut it down. And people don't believe it, but dadgummit, they can. If they want to, they can. You know, there's that South Carolina at least has in the Constitution, an amendment in the South Carolina Constitution that says we have a right to hunt and fish and trap.
Yep.
You know, that's one of our saving graces. But, you know, let's see here. My lease are in Oklahoma and Texas. They welcome you and your money there. Ain't that the truth? Dude, I'm going to tell you something, Jan. I don't know, man. With all the activism that's going on and the woke crowd, it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me. They may not shut down all, but public would be very, very easy, and they're doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, they're doing it. You know, you look at these WMAs that we have here that are eroding. You know, the dikes are eroding. They're not being rebuilt. The water control structures are not being rebuilt. They're not planting correctly. Not planting anything, or they haphazardly plant it. You know, it's a mess, bro.
Yeah, Jan, I think that's the problem. You said maybe in a few blue states. I think a lot of these red states are about to switch over to blue states, and then it's all over from there.
Yep, I don't know where all my chats went, but they gone.
So when's the next time you're heading back up to North Carolina?
Well, we had a trip that was planned for the first week in October, and unfortunately, due to some injuries to one of the parties, we are not going to be able to go. Because the guy that was taking us, there's some issues. He's not going to be able to go, so we won't be able to go there. So it'll be the third week in October. We'll be going up there to hunt. I'm going to try to get up there in. My grandson has a birthday coming up in about 2 weeks, so I got to I might be able to make a trip up there for a day before the season to get some stuff, do some scouting and get a couple blinds built and that kind of stuff. So hopefully in a couple weeks, if not in 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, hopefully I'll be up there. When's your next trip?
So the next one for me isn't till December the 14th, and we're heading out to Kansas. We'll be going to Kansas. Actually, I take that back. I'm supposed to be trying to make it up to Wisconsin. This was a little bit last minute. I'm supposed to be trying to make it up to Wisconsin and Iowa mid-November, just before Thanksgiving.
Right.
So I got a last-minute invite to Wisconsin. I've got another guy, Sam Fellin. Met him on TikTok. Really cool guy. He's out in Iowa. We're talking about, on my way back down or possibly the way up, just stopping there. hopefully the way back down and doing some hunting in Iowa as well. So it'll be Wisconsin, right. Iowa, and then we'll hit Kansas. Then I've got Mississippi, and then I'm going out to Florida with Billy.
Right. I'm trying to get with Billy now. I'm hoping it'll be the first part of January to get up there and hunt some more. My license is good until February, so I'd like to get down there one really long weekend, and hopefully we can redeem ourselves.
I'll be
this
I'll
year
be out
is
there
going to be all North Carolina for the most part.
I'll be out with Billy in Florida in the first part of February doing the veterans hunt.
I'm losing him. All right, guys. I've seen we're having some serious internet problems tonight. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I got you, Matt.
Okay. Guys in the chat, we're having some serious internet issues. It's got to be coming from my end. I don't know what's going on, why it's acting all weird. But I plan on going to North Carolina a lot this year. Kentucky later at the end of January. But next year is going to be a lot more. I'll trained up a little bit better for next year. It seemed kind of laggy, but not that bad. I don't know what's going on, man. It's probably South Carolina DNR trying to shut. Mine is froze. Can you hear me all right now?
I got you. Now it's getting bad.
All right. Somebody just posted no birds. I'm sorry, what? GGW. Welcome to the chat. First time I've seen you. You're saying there's no birds in central North Carolina. Did all that electrical work mess up my internet? I don't think so, being that we stream internet here. Man, we had a mess at this house. And I lost 2 legs from the meter to the road. I didn't have any power. Oh, it was a mess here. They finally got it restored. Early teal or late this year? What? I'm not sure what you're trying to say, but I did not go to North Carolina for early teal this year.
I think he's asking if the teal showed up early or if they showed up late.
Trying to say what?
If the teal showed up early during early teal season, or if they're showing up late.
Man, I hate.
Yeah, I think the internet's getting bad now.
They showed up on time here. Yeah, I think the internet's getting real bad. I may have to shut down and then come back. I don't know yet. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Hopefully it'll work itself out. Okay. So the teal this year, the blue-winged teal this year in South Carolina, for the most part, we're on time. From what I gathered from North Carolina, then we had some cooler weather, which pushed a lot of birds out of North Carolina into South Carolina. And yes, we both have dogs. I know that Jonathan has quite a few.
Yeah.
He's got quite a few labs in his kennel.
Yeah, I got 5 right now. Oh, after duck season, it'll be 6.
What we call dog. All right, here's what I'm going to do, Jonathan. You can hear me, guys in the chat. Jonathan, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this live stream down. Give me 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I'm going to bring it back up. Please, y'all come back. We got a lot more to talk about, but I'm going to try to get this. It may just been my computer's maybe overheating or something. Let me see what I can work on here. So, but if I don't see you again for some reason tonight, guys, I'm sorry. It's just I'm having some issues, but I'm going to try to be back in about 10 or 15 minutes. You got that, Jonathan? All right. All right, guys. I'll see you in about 10 or 15 minutes.